There you go.
Very good. All right, good morning, everyone. We'll call to order the February 4th meeting of the Madison County Board of Commissioners. If everyone would introduce themselves for the record. I'm Chris Wallace.
Brendan Shea.
Rob Sloan, County Administrator.
David Kell.
Nick Atkins, prosecutor.
Rhonda Bader, Assistant Clerk. I'm Race Clerk.
Everybody, maybe we can't hear us.
Mr. Schneider.
Sure, I'm joining.
Good morning.
See if you can hear us.
Good morning. On virtually, yes. Sheriff Sweeney on virtual.
Oh, yeah, minutes. Never mind. Give us a second. And we can't hear you. We have the minutes. Everybody should have received a copy. Those were sent out. Any additions, corrections?
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a first and a second. Any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes. Sheriff, we'll try again if you can. We cannot hear you.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Is he muted?
Are you muted?
I am not muted.
Sure, he's muted.
Is the volume turned up, Amy? On the TV?
I can hear you just fine.
Yep. That's is muted up there.
The camera speaker, try the camera speaker. Where's the camera remote?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Testing. 1, 2.
Is it? How about now, Sheriff?
Can you hear me this morning?
There you go, yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I heard we dispensed the readings. Are you going directly to me or?
Yes, you're on, sir.
Well, I apologize for not being there. I did have a few moments this morning as I traveled back from our conference. I don't have anything office-wise. Was able to develop quite a few network contacts here while in DC. Nothing really locally, other than I did, in our committee meeting, there was some pretty good information. They had partners from, Border Patrol, different ICE members. And I guess one thing that to maybe touch on that others probably seen in the media and around our country, they see large numbers of deportations and see these actions coming through. Thinking about maybe some of the agencies or some things in Central Ohio, or we may see where there might be some illegals present. ICE is not making sweeps over the country. The things that you guys are seeing are targeted individuals. So, if they come into a location somewhere that's maybe in our county or nearby, it's because there was a target there that they're after. Now, obviously, if there's other illegals there, they stand a chance of being involved in that. But ICE will not be coming into any counties making sweeps looking for illegals. It's all target driven. So, other than that, I don't have anything this morning. Travel back here shortly, and wanted to see if your honorable board had anything of me this morning.
Don't believe so, sir. Thank you. Safe travels.
Yeah, I will. I'll hang on a while. I got some time. I'll hang in and listen. So.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Atkins?
Morning. Actually, don't have anything for you today.
Okay, good enough. On vacation last week?
No, I had the trial.
Trial.
And it didn't happen, but
Okay, got it.
we had a lot
Yeah,
of stuff in the office I had to attend to.
got it. Very good. Mr. Cal?
Go first, or you want Rob to go first?
Either way.
Go first.
Doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and go first, since the sheriff's on and.
Yeah.
We can jump off. excuse me, I'm getting over the flu, so I'm not on 100% of my game today, so. Have one item for discussion today, and that is on the standardization and implementation of a countywide security camera system. Been working with Sheriff Sweeney on this probably for about a year now, would you say, Sheriff?
Yes, at least, yeah.
We've got an existing camera system now in certain locations, camera systems, I should say. Not really specific connectivity between all those systems. We've got buildings that have a need for security cameras, additional security cameras. So we have buildings that are underserved and non-served. So looking at a few different companies, I think the sheriff is, he likes the Motorola system, being that Motorola is a good quality name, something that he's familiar with, and something that they use on the regular. So that cost right now is $62,344, and that is repurposing all of our cameras that we have now. And there will be an additional cost once we figure out how many additional cameras will be needed. So we know, for example, we're going to need at least eight to 10 out of John Family Services. Those cameras range from $1,000 to $3,000 based on their capability. So, for example, we don't have any exterior cameras here at the courthouse. And I know that's something that the sheriff has been concerned with over the past. So anyway, long story short, that's kind of the overview of what we're working on right now. Standardized camera system that the sheriff can log into from anywhere, cloud storage, cloud cameras, a connector between our existing system and the new system, and so forth, so on. So, Sheriff, you want to add to that?
Yeah, and it can be partitioned off. Let's think about Mr. Atkins' office. He's got camera systems over there. It goes into the cloud-based, but it gives Nick the ability to control his cameras, as well as the sheriff's office and our local county IT, oversee those. We do have some cameras in the court systems. Gives the ability for our judges to maybe block and oversee their camera systems, because like they said, there's some things that they may have to shut off during certain periods of our court hearings. So it's a pretty good system. It's a Motorola, it's a name we trust. Obviously, it comes with a price tag. There are others out there. We're using other ones now. It was something for us to start to look into. We trust them since we've developed partners with Motorola already through our 911 systems. Every radio we have in our cruisers and 911 is Motorola. And you can add to the system, moving forward. It does cost for each camera, but they can be added very simply to the program. So something Rob and I worked on, good to present it to you guys, for discussion too. So I'd be happy to answer any questions or get any questions asked through the process.
So that's incorporating 57 existing cameras that we have in the county. We'll probably need 40 more.
Prosecutor's office installed cameras a few years back. We had a number of security incidents, so we installed cameras and other security upgrades. But when this conversation was happening, Sheriff Sweeney came over to the prosecutor's office with representatives from Motorola and talked about our existing system and what they can offer. We've got double-digit cameras right now, and it's not very user-friendly. We can have literally a date and time, and it's hard to access that time in the information that's stored. It's also hard to extract that clip and save that. Motorola was explaining that their system is much easier to search and to download the clip. They were explaining, though, and this is really key, I think, You don't have to have an exact time or date. Let's say you have an incident where there's a red car that's been driving by. You can search by red car and it will bring up clips to show you, if red cars have driven by. So that I thought was really impressive.
They offer a 32 megapixel camera that you can literally ID somebody across a stadium.
Yeah, we have trouble even picking up license plates, and that was key. It's not great.
Yeah, yeah.
So this would be for county facilities only? Would it be for entry and exit points in and out of township? Is it just for the facilities? Is that?
Sheriff, I'll let you.
Yeah.
Assume it's just for county buildings.
Yeah, yes, this is for any county office and county buildings that your board and any county elected official would control. That way it keeps it all in one group. We don't have, several different vendors paying, several, the engineers may have, Avalon, and we may have Motorola, and somebody else may have. It just really brings it into one group and manageable. Like I said, it can be easily managed by one or two or individually by the agency. So it's a pretty user friendly and able to be partitioned off if need be.
Yeah. But since it's cloud-based, you could extend it to, say, township halls if you wanted to, or wherever. Chris's house, for example.
Is the work that's been done over the last year determining points of weakness or need? What's gone into it over the last year?
Quite frankly, what has really sparked it, Mr. Shea, is we have our camera systems in the courthouse. We've had to go into some executive sessions to discuss security matters and stuff. But it's no secret that we lack some outside views, and the system that we currently have right now is full. So adding additional cameras to that it has created some concern. So this would give us a better security point. Just thinking of the courthouse in general, of what we can add to the system, because you can add more cameras to it more easily.
We did have vehicle theft and equipment theft out at the engineer's office where they cut the fence, came in.
That wasn't that long ago.
What's that?
That wasn't that long ago.
No.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, employee safety, security, so forth, so on. So really, it's been exploring different systems, itemizing cost, putting together an inventory of existing cameras and systems, which has all brought us to this point right now. So, but I'll leave it totally up to the sheriff to decide where those cameras are, where the points of exit or entry or, that sort of thing. I'll stay in my lane.
And, we would do that, through the official, because obviously, I can point out some, I hate to stay on Nick, but I can point out some ideas at our prosecutor's office, but it's his office, he's there every day. Nick knows some of the concerns. So, obviously worked with the different department heads and, elected officials that would be receiving these cameras.
Very good. You're not asking us to take any sort of action at this time? Or?
No, I just point of discussion right now to see if you guys had any questions, concerns, move forward, hold up, and just basic guidance on that. It's not something that we budgeted for either for this year. So
This is something that we've talked about for a while, the need to upgrade our security on all county buildings. So no, I think that's something that's worthwhile.
yeah, it follows that standardization. I've always preached standardization, had some resistance in the past, but I think that has changed. We standardized our access control, which has been a huge benefit, I think. I don't think there's been any complaints about standardization of access control. So this is following that same strategy.
I think it was received well, and hopefully they'll hold to that price and there'll be no tariffs included on it. So,
Yeah.
I would imagine the standardization also brings cost savings. In buying in bulk like this.
Yeah. And these are certified cameras, not like made in China, whatever that rule is, kind of thing. So we can use them in a lot of different places where other cameras can't be used.
It's an SOS rule, but
Yeah. Oh, it's an only SOS.
they're the ones that were enforcing this strictly at the department. So BOE was mandatory for that.
Mandatory.
Everybody else was more of a recommendation.
I got you.
Yeah,
Good.
it probably will not affect the Board of Elections as they have their own standardization standalone through the Secretary of State. But we could work with them. If it would ever change, we could work with them and see if we can make that compliance. But right now they're all standalone.
Very good.
Awesome.
Yep, appreciate that update.
Next thing I have on the list is had an employee approach me about asking if there was an opportunity to swap out the LED lights here at the courthouse with ones that the colors can be changed on those. Like for this month is some sort of cancer and green is the color, so they want to light up the courthouse with green. It could be used for Christmas, Halloween, whatever you want to think of. When I replaced these LEDs here, I had two options. One was basic white LED. The other one was one that was Bluetooth and you could change the color. The commissioners at that time chose not to spend the extra money and went with the straight LEDs. So I said I would bring it before the board and gauge the temperature on it.
This is exterior lighting or interior?
The lights that shine up on the steeple.
What's the lifespan of the current?
Forever. I mean, they're probably 20 a year. We got about 7 years there, so I don't think they're going to fail anytime soon. But at the same time, that would be kind of cool. And that was the thought back then when I brought it to the board was, hey, it can be pink, it can be this, it can be that, or different things. It's just whether or not.
I think we continue with the current lights. And maybe revisit that when those no longer work.
We'll let them know. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, sir.
Nothing with the ordinance on the agenda.
What?
The city of London, we're gonna push that to next week.
Districts and TID.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait and just discuss that
With Tony.
when Tony's.
Okay. I was just curious. Might be here.
Yeah, I mean, Tony kind of requested we keep things a little light since he wasn't going to be here, so. Yeah. So we can just skip you.
No, well, no, I mean, I don't have anything for action today, it's two items to discuss.
Yep.
So first, I sent you all last week, I believe, some information about, I'm having some discussions with Jefferson Township about some of the areas we are in control of for when it comes to abatements. And we're also having discussion on TIFs, but for the sake of this discussion, CRAs and enterprise zones. Wanted to have a discussion about pilot payments to the fire district because, as you are aware, with what has gone on historically with West Jefferson, there's been a lot of 15-year 100% abatements. The fire district has been left out of the conversation. Well, the township fire department has been left out of conversations for many of those. I'd say 4 or 5 years ago, the village created a pilot program for the township. First, it was a $50,000 impact fee for fire, just a one-time central fee. But then they created a pilot program that was a nickel a square foot per year for the term of the abatement, whether it's, and it was anything over 50%. Anything over 50% would be require a pilot. So what we've done is having a discussion because activity is picking up. There's one interested party not that far along at 2942, and there's some other developments. I'll be at Jefferson Townships tomorrow. They're meeting tomorrow evening to talk about the project, this pilot, and then also the comp plan. But since activity is picking up, we're having more discussions about creating a pilot for our zones. And what Jefferson Township has done, I'm tasked to do, is take that's Jeff, their agreement, take that, tweak it to where it would be between our office or our county and Jefferson Township, and implement what we all agree upon. Township, this is township driving this, a 7 cents square foot pilot agreement for anything over either 60% or over 10 years. So it's 50% for 11 years, the pilot would kick in. If it's 100% for 4 years, the pilot would kick in. And they're happy with that number. I'm happy with that number. Of course, we would present that to you. It's not we want to try to get it done by the end of February, get something signed. Yeah, I'm just bringing that to your attention now, let you know those discussions are happening, and we should have, I think you guys have seen a very early, somewhat early draft of that agreement that we're all kind of agreeing upon. So, if there's any questions or thoughts or comments on that.
And you said that's something the township is supportive of?
Township's driving it.
Okay.
Yep. And we'll explore that in other townships, like Darby Township too, if there's abatements and things like that, so.
Very good.
So, David, thank you. I saw your email, started and intended to get back, and I realized I did not.
That's fine.
So this is it specific to the current project that's being discussed, or is this going to be a blanket policy?
The way it'll be written is anything, any deal done within those areas, right? So you have that CRA area, I forget the number.
Yeah.
The number will be in that agreement, as well as the area that is in Jefferson Township and Deer Creek Township, as well as the one that's in West Jefferson that we have control of, which was what was with JIC. So.
Okay, so what would trigger it to take effect if the village and then the county acted on a county TIF? This would automatically.
CRA or abatement, or CRA or enterprise zone. Yeah, this is only abatements. We'll discuss TIFs. There'll be a separate agreement with TIFs, and so it'll most likely be nickel square foot, probably, I think, because with TIFs, they're a little different than abatements, as we've discussed. TIFs, those dollars are going towards infrastructure improvements, whereas abatements is back to the company. And then we'll do a combination, right? Because there's ways to, if we do create these pilots, there's loopholes, right? So you could, in theory, do, okay, 50% for 10 years for an abatement, and then 50% 10 years for a TIF. And that way there's no trigger, right? So in the second agreement we do with TIFs, we'll do some kind of language to kind of close any loopholes that could potentially happen, if that makes sense. But yeah, so any abatement that, for this agreement, any abatement that would happen in any of those three zones, if anything is over 60% in 10 years, the trigger would be pulled, or 60% or 10 years, the trigger would be pulled, and the pilot would kick in.
But it's not just for this agreement, right? This would be a policy
Oh,
going
it'd be policy
forward.
for any agreement within the zones.
So it would remove the back and forth negotiation.
Yeah,
You're
so that
basically
pilots.
stating up front, this is how it works.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is.
Which I think is desirable.
So again, no action today. I'm going to the meeting tomorrow night. They also have a meeting in 2 weeks. I think Tracy, he's their township administrator, I think part-time at this point. He would like to get it done before end of February. I've told him, I mean, from our end, there's no rush to it. And again, the project is being looked at out there. There's still a lot of work that needs to get done, so it's not imminent or anything like that. They'll probably, if any decisions made on that project, it would be by June, I'm thinking. So, good time.
Yeah, no, this is a good thing. I mean,
Yeah.
very beneficial for the township.
Yeah.
Some of those deals, as you said, left them out in the cold,
Yeah.
and they've struggled, so this is a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Appreciate your work.
Yeah, appreciate that. Any other questions on that?
For now, thank
Okay.
you.
One more item, and then since Myron's here, I'll bring up last item. I've had this, the third time with me and Myron in 24 hours. I'm maxed out on Myron for the weekend. So no more. But, first, So the State Route 38 building, the old Board of Elections building, there's been another inquiry about that. We dealt with that like third, fourth quarter last year, some inquiries about that building. They're asking, go ahead.
Let me just
Feel free to
comment, and I'll back up a little bit because Brendan wasn't around at that point in time. So provide a little history for your information. So the old Board of Elections building, needless to say, we moved those folks out to Lafayette Street building. So that building has sat vacant since then. We did work with a realtor who gave us a price for that. The commissioners wanted to liquidate, sell that property. Gave us an idea to start with as far as asking price goes, but the board felt that was low and went significantly higher. All the parties that were interested in purchasing that property vanished. And periodically we have some people pop up and say, hey, what are you gonna do with that building? Just recently, we've also had high school reach out to us about occupying that building. So we have a couple different options. One, liquidate, two, lease. It's whether or not we want to continue to stay in the landlord business or not. Either way, a vacant building deteriorates when people are not occupying it. So Dan was in last week, both furnaces had failed, it was 35 degrees in there, so. Right. And that brings us up to current.
Yeah, it would be an office use, I don't know specifics, right, it was somebody asking for somebody else, and they said, what are the commissioner's thoughts on it, what they asking, I said, well, I don't know currently, so I talked to Rob and presented it to them.
How long has it been on the market now?
A year.
I was just saying about a year and a half.
They're actively marketing the property?
They're not, not anymore, not anymore.
We probably cut that after, 6 months, a year? I mean, how long were they actively marketing it?
It was about 8 months or so. Tim Weber is our realtor, and he was out there pushing it. And you had, the ESC inquired about it. There were a couple of private users, to Rob's point.
Champaign Residential,
Yeah, and I think there was, we went along with one commissioner's desire to make it what I thought was an above market price. I mean, obviously the market has spoken,
Yes.
and that is not the price of that building. But if it sits vacant for 2 years, that obviously is not the market price. I mean, I do think we need to consider all options, because to your point, we don't want that to sit vacant, any longer.
Yeah.
So whether it's leasing, whether it's selling, I mean, I think we need to aggressively do one of the two. With the school lease, is the school interested in leasing, or is the school interested in buying?
Haven't got that far yet. So we can do either way. I mean, Champaign Residential, VD, their desire was to make it a group home.
Yeah.
Apartments, that sort of thing for their community. ESC was looking for office space. So it's been kind of a mixed bag on who wants to lease it. It's just whether or not you want to continue to lease property versus liquidating the property. So, I mean, we could go either way. Lease property now. I don't see that changing anytime in the foreseeable future. So,
Do you anticipate any of those entities making an offer to purchase, or are they just kicking the tires?
it's been a long time since we've talked to them based on what the price was going to be. So we could certainly re-engage in those discussions and see. And we can go into executive session if you'd like to discuss the asking price.
I mean, I don't know that we need to discuss the asking price, but I would say, I think maybe we're willing to, come down and negotiate more, or be more aggressive in liquidating that property or leasing that property than we've been in the past. I mean, obviously, we've had that high ceiling on the price, and that's prevented us from doing anything. So now maybe we're willing to engage in some more negotiations.
Remember, we can use the CIC,
Right.
Which allows us to go through, circumvent the bidding process if there's identified user. Per the code, you're allowed to do that, so just remember that still.
We could get it appraised. You know, Tim Duther's working on property across the road for us right now, so it probably wouldn't be too hard. To have an official appraisal, if that means anything. Or go back to the realtor and say, hey, what do you think the market value is now?
Yeah, I would like to get their opinion of value. I mean, brokers, realtors often give their opinions of value, so I would like them to tell us what they believe it is worth. I think that would be helpful information. I don't know that we need to go through the process of getting a full appraisal. I think that broker's opinion of value, realtor's opinion of value would go a long way.
Okay, we'll get a new updated price and bring it back.
Thank you, sir.
That's about it. And getting a long discussion was in Norway Township last night. Had good meetings about updating our comp plan. So, and we talked to them about doing the public hearing probably in April or May. So they're looking forward to that as well.
Very good. Well, good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Take a quick coffee break.
What's up?
Did I get you the message on?
Yeah. Good. Awesome. That's good. Okay.
Well, I didn't get a flu shot this year.
Yeah.
I never get a flu shot.
And wife did get a flu shot.
It doesn't mean that
She didn't get it, I got
Yeah.
it. It must be something.
I actually,
Holly thinks, it's too.
I don't know, Rob, I'm on the
I
plane, I
get
don't get one
maybe too
either.
much, just thinking about maybe telling
Yeah.
he's got a lot.
It's a guess.
He does.
I don't need it,
Okay.
guess.
Yeah,
If we put that whole railroad tracks,
I'm way better today than I was the last couple of days.
what is?
Way better.
This headache cold, headache cold, just because the.
Not so much a headache, just massive amounts of snot.
Is there something?
Like I feel all the moisture from my body has been extracted and
Because Terry Emery would have to have a conversation, they're doing it.
I want to explore that. I have questions about timeline and how much that matters, because the more others, I talked to Darren. I had another conversation. He was told, this is probably the fire, and started looking at the fire property, he doesn't want annex.
on Friday.
So, I'm like, I forget how.
And I talked to my buddy that I've been ice fishing with and duck hunting
Was
with.
discouraging.
I'm sick of this dog. I'm like, well, shit.
Oh, no.
You didn't start with a sore throat, did you? He said, no, not really. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
So their use of.
Saturday, I was like, I think I might, well, what did I say, but I'm gonna power through it.
Yeah, that's.
Did a bunch of stuff, then Sunday I was like, okay.
Well, it's a good thing you ice fished when you did.
The way it is
I
right
don't
now,
see you're gonna get much more
Maybe if they
opportunities
just
to ice
square it
fish
out,
now.
I'm flying out next week.
I mean, here, locally.
This, I think.
Yeah.
And it's about,
I mean, it's,
they, this to
Where you
be
going?
residential.
Michigan?
That's what the Jerome Township wants us to be residential, well, kind of. It's not what Darren is.
Unless that ice goes south and then we're going to go to
This actually the one that's in.
driving site.
Jerome Township and
from
they feel
Cleveland,
comfortable.
I mean, not from there,
So here,
It's,
from here.
I think it would have to maybe deal with some lobbying in Jerome Township. If you guys can meet up uses of what Darren's group wants, then
That was the.
it can work out. But if not, if the Jerome Township's sticking to their guns, and wants to stay as is, then that's where Darren has it. He's like, look, I might have to annex because Plain City may end up doing what they want. They'll be much more difficult to work with. But they may be able to look at parcel. Split.
So he's still waffling.
are you still recording?
Oh,
What?
We're still recording?
He does not want
Do you want me to not?
to.
Oh, no, I could.
Oh, it's fine, there's nothing, we're not discussing anything. So that's where,
Oh, I didn't care about you.
oh, so I think that's where,
No.
you have to look at, if it makes sense when you claim, just like he's gonna do business decision, right? And Derek has said, if it makes more sense business wise, annex, like say we do that. But he wants to make a township if he can. So I think there might be some discussion. Okay.
Yeah, I
I think
remember
that's
that
gonna be the thing you guys need to do. I can help, I mean, I know Joe Kraft well, I can put in that conversation. You have the administrator. So. Something about
Chelsea said they don't really do void checks. She said she would check into it because she doesn't know how to do it.
it. We gotta figure that out. Because I mean, we're looking at the triple J. Yeah.
We need him in the gym. Good luck. Thanks for your email.
Yeah, no problem. You
Yeah.
understood
Yeah.
what I was saying and it made sense. It was odd to me that the one statute gave the discretion to, I mean, essentially said he didn't have to honor it, right?
Yeah.
That was interesting. I agree with everybody else.
Sorry, Deb.
No problem. Once I got time to look into it, it really didn't take that long. Just had to.
Well, I appreciate the time you took.
Amy, you would please.
Resolution approving the payment of invoices for the Madison County Auditor.
So moved.
Second. First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving a transfer of funds for the Madison County Family Council.
So moved.
Second. We have a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving a transfer of funds for the Madison County Department of Family and Children.
So moved.
Second. We have a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution transferring funds from the marriage license revenue line to the Commissioner's transfers in line and increased appropriations to pay required funds to the Bridges Emergency Shelter.
So moved.
Second. First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the electronic recording agreement between, Rachel's going to come and talk about this, so let's pull up on that.
Yep. Very good.
A resolution approving amendment number 2 for the contract for the 2025-2026 purchase of service agreement between the Madison County Department of Job and Family Services and AccuMax Inc.
So moved.
Second. We have a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Wallace? Sorry, Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
Any order is fine, right?
Is that it?
That's it, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Another coffee break?
No. Sign everything.
The contract, thanks, requires Brenda's signature.
Yep. We can sign that one.
So Mike Carey's staff called last week, wanted to schedule a meeting with me today. Didn't tell me really what it was for. Any ideas? About it?
Maybe they just like your presence.
Well, I think the field reps check the box, you know.
Yeah, I think they just, I mean, that's probably what it is. I mean, every so often, I think they tell them to reach out to the various counties and
Go visit.
go visit and keep lines of communication open. That's probably what it is.
I'm a little worried about the 4 million for the sheriff's office.
Yeah, that better not be in jeopardy. Problematic.
Yes.
I hope that's not it. Yeah, they haven't reached out to me with saying anything.
Yeah.
This was approved last week.
The order doesn't matter, just take the next tax line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good timing.
Oh, you ready?
We're ready.
Rachel, I made a resolution because I don't know if I needed to, but it looked like the commissioners were supposed to sign it.
That's fine, yeah, whatever you guys. I had Nick look at this too. And his comeback was that there's no fees for the county. And he changed the dates to end November 30th of 27, which is when our Avenue contract expires. So at that point, I either need to re-up with Avenue or go with a different vendor.
Okay, do I have the most recent?
Yes,
Okay.
you have the most recent. So, yeah, so this will comply with Senate Bill 94, that we have to do before June 30th of 2026. We work with Avenue, our vendor, then we have Simplifile EPN. They would be the ones sending us, they vet people. So they just need a contract so we can get going. I've talked to Brian and the auditor, they're all on board. So we would route documents all the way around.
Very good.
That eliminates foot traffic from the different
Yeah,
offices.
it'll eliminate mail, definitely.
But I know the engineers sending
Yeah.
leads down,
Yeah.
like sneaker net.
Right, right. So, yep, so that's how that works.
So you'll be able
Just need a
to,
contract
you'll be able to record most documents then online.
There's some counties that say that they do 85% online.
Yeah, obviously, in our business, we have a law firm, but also the title company, and yeah,
Right.
most counties are able to record, I would
Right.
say 90% of things online,
Right.
so I think that's very convenient
Right.
for
So-
people to be able to do that, so, yeah, that's a good thing.
Does any conveyance standards have to change language in?
I don't think so.
The Simplify is a pretty easy system.
They're big.
Yeah, they're
They're
big.
huge.
Yeah, they're huge. Yep.
So, yeah, so I would just need the contract signed. I opened up a bank account with Huntington. All fees would go in there and then they, like, once a week or maybe once every few days, we would put money back into the general fund that we collected from the ACH.
And the treasurer?
Treasurer, she set all of it up.
That all sounds to be in order.
A resolution for that, a resolution approving the electronic recording agreement between Madison County and Avenue Government Record Services LLC.
So moved.
Second.
I also have this is the contract that was sent, it needs to be signed and then
I think I have that.
you have that, okay. I'm gonna give you this, because I filled out the bank, so that last page, if we could replace it with that, because I filled out the bank
Okay.
stuff.
So is this
So they
meeting
can
for
sign that
commissioners
one
sign it?
instead of the other one.
How about that? Two
No,
words.
we have a vote. We have a first and a second. Any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
I need to find out, but I think if anything, we may get an extra $2 per document to provide this service. I'm not 100% on that, but I'll find that. We're going to, myself, the auditor, and the engineer's office, we're going to Licking County a week from today. And we're gonna have a demonstration on the dog tower and how everything works and how they get it.
So good, that-
We'll know a lot more.
will that go into the conveyance fee?
Yes, so they would pay the conveyance fee on ACH also.
In the,
So what determines that? You say if anything, you may get $2 more per document? What sets that?
That would be the convenience for these people to do this,
Do it online.
to have the service.
So that's at your discretion, you can choose.
I can't, I had one county tell me I could do that, but I have not confirmed that. So, but I'll find out next Tuesday when we go, what Licking County does.
Very good,
Sounds good.
appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, looks good. Okay, sounds good, and then I'll send them on to Adam. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. We're a little early for public session, but anybody have any comments, questions, concerns, anything?
I didn't realize
And then that room.
it wasn't 9:30 yet, so I missed all the excitement while I was getting my CAUV taken. I don't know if there's anything to comment about that. But, about what this was about, but would you like to, do you have anything you'd like to?
I just say, hanging on what Dave Kell said, you know, we've been meeting quite a bit the last day and a half here. But it's been positive and good for the township. And it appears like we're moving forward, cooperating and working with Canaan Township with future economic development. And that's exciting. Just got that text message earlier this morning. So, and we're continuing to have meetings with landowners and everything, and we'll see what happens.
Very good. Thanks.
See what we can do to protect the township.
Very good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Pete Nichols. Am I supposed to stand or anybody swear me in or anything like
I
that?
don't think so, I think you're okay.
More laid back.
Yeah, we're laid back.
Well, before the meeting started, the first thing I did mention is I've been paying attention, watching these proceedings by a live stream, which I think is great. But I do have a recommendation, and I'll say, find a way to move that camera back out here. Somebody, I think somebody said something about a 360-degree camera, so.
And then replace the mic, it's a 360-degree camera with built-in mic, wireless.
And that way you can see not only the commissioners and Amy and Rhonda and everybody in the Keenan gallery, so you can see how many people are showing up.
Sure.
On that
I think they ordered it last week, in fact.
what's that, sorry?
I said, I think they ordered it last week or 2 weeks ago.
Well, you know,
I
and
keyed it.
so, on that note, regarding meetings, one of the things that I think is important for the communities, for people to be part of, you know, coming to meetings, things like that. We've met at various meetings, I know we've met at various meetings, that have had a great turnout, things about the solar, all sorts of issues. One thing that is constant in all those meetings is they're done later in the day, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, so people from the community can participate more readily. And I think it's great that you have a Tuesday morning meeting every Tuesday, rain or shine. But there's a lot of people who cannot be here, including myself. I'm not working right now because I'm here. Just to make this request, I would like to request the Madison County Commissioners, and I know Tony is watching. Hi, Tony. I'd like you to consider holding a evening meeting just once a month. So in lieu of get rid of one of your morning meetings or sessions and have it in the evening, and that way people can show up. I've done very informal polling online with social media, and it started slow. A lot of people didn't think there would be meetings, but more and more people are saying, yeah, I think this would be a good thing to have. I would go to that. Now, nobody's given me that promise in blood, but I do believe that people would show up. I know I would, I know my wife would, I know my neighbors would. Tony's friend Jesse Bobo would. People want to be aware, and I think that it would be good for the county if there was more citizen involvement. So that's my request.
So since this is an idea that I'm in favor of, I want to make it very clear, I did not put you up to this. And I didn't know you were gonna be here today, but I do appreciate you coming and,
So your eyebrows went like that when you walked in. so-
yeah. But I'll give a little context. So I've gone to many different townships. I need to make it out to Darby. But it was probably April or May of last year, going to Oak Run Township, where just mentioned a few ideas, including this. And this was something, you were in that meeting and that seemed to be very well received. So just a little context on kind of how the idea came about. But
Well, one of the things I've noticed, I think you mentioned Oak Run Township, you mentioned Jefferson Township, that meets tomorrow night.
Correct.
When did Darby meet?
That's, yesterday evening.
As did Oak Run Township, first Monday of each month. I think all the townships meet in the evening, do they not?
Yeah, most townships and villages meet in the evening. Almost every county in the state of Ohio meets in the morning.
Okay.
That's just how it's set up.
No, and that's fine, and they all have the right to do that. In fact, you all have the right to say no to this.
And we talked about it in a meeting in January. I mean, we're considering it. I mean, we haven't completely ruled it out. I mean, I do get concerned that there would be a lack of attendance in the evening, but we also talked about holding certain, public forums about certain, particular issues, whether it's solar or biodigester, things that become, kind of a hot button issue, if you will, in the community. Holding those town forums or meetings in the evenings is certainly something that we've done in the past, and, we'll continue to do in the future.
Right.
So, yeah,
we met this summer for the township meeting.
Correct.
And so, and that was well attended, but you're right, it was a hot button.
It's about a topic. I think if it's topic related, I think you're more likely to get attendance.
Well, that's absolutely the case. In fact, I'm willing to bet that there have been some appointments taken. I think there's some meetings that you've had that had plenty of people there because it was important in the morning. People taking the day.
Oh, they have, yeah. Well, yeah, we've had this room where we couldn't shut the door before, so,
Right.
so, I mean, it happens even in the morning that people show up, yeah.
But
And also, John probably I imagine he turned on his camera to chime into the fact that if we do have evening meetings, the courthouse has to remain open, security has to be here,
Sure.
staff have to be here, so it is,
You have to coordinate.
you have to coordinate all of that as well, which is a logistics problem as well.
I completely understand that, and so I posit this as an idea. What if it were done at City Hall, where there's more space? I don't know if that would make sense, or if not at City Hall, some other location.
If it's an official meeting, we still need to have, I would think we would still want to have our security there, John, correct me if I'm wrong.
No question about that.
So it's still like staff, security, logistics, all of that, having an evening meeting, even if it's at a different location, it doesn't change much.
No, but it might be more amenable when it comes to parking or
Sure.
available space.
No, I get it. No, I appreciate those meetings that have occurred in the evening where we have had large attendance about a particular topic. And if we feel the need to, have that meeting, whether it be at a township hall or whether it be here, most of those have not been formal, county commissioner meetings. They've been town halls that we've kind of organized, maybe working in conjunction with the township to have kind of a town hall style meeting. That's kind of the way I like to do it. I mean, when I went and spoke first about solar in 2022, I organized that with the Farm Bureau. They did that out at Bex and we had 200 people. So it's usually been with some other civic organization or with the township that if we've worked to schedule a town hall meeting. So I mean, that's how I foresee it, doing it in the future. Therefore, it's not like a formal county commissioner meeting, but the county is helping to organize that event, whether it be with the township, with the Farm Bureau, or with any other organization that may want us to speak about a particular issue.
Well, recognizing the logistical issues that you mentioned, we put those to the side. No, that's a foreign conclusion that has to happen. What's keeping you from doing it? And what level of interest do you need from the community to say, you know what, we'll float this, do a trial run, maybe for a 3-month period, try it out. And if nobody shows up, then it's obvious that it's not necessary and not feasible. And we'll just go back to the Tuesday appointments only.
Yeah, and I've talked, so like the Farm Bureau obviously is a pretty strong organization in Madison County with a lot of membership. And I've talked to them about me going out there again and talking about, certain issues, whether, it is, it's usually the same issues over and over again that people want to talk about. That's the problem. It's solar, it's biodigester, you know what I mean? Those are really the only two issues that we get a lot of calls about, questions about. We don't really get a lot of questions about, hey, I'd like to discuss your comprehensive plan. I mean, that doesn't happen too often. It's usually those hot button issues that give people, tensions flamed, if you will. So, I mean, yeah, I've talked to the Farm Bureau about doing that, and it's something that may happen again this year, that I go out there and talk to them again about solar or the biodigester, those issues that seem to be a particular concern to their constituency.
I agree with that, but I think it's undeniable that Madison County, London in particular, is growing. And it's gonna be, I think, growing at a rapid pace here in the next couple of years. And so I think you're going to see more and more opportunities or necessities to have those types of meetings.
Yeah.
And I think if it's on the schedule and people are aware of it and it's promoted as an opportunity for people to not have to take off work and come to these meetings, I think you'll get a greater turnout.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's something we're certainly considering.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And John, I think they're having liver and onions today over at the senior center, so you lucked out.
You're sorry I can't make it. I hope you enjoy my share of it.
Well, we'll hold off for another 8 minutes to see if anyone shows up for the public session. I believe that's on the agenda for 9:45. If no one shows, then we will adjourn promptly at 9:45. Thanks, everyone. You're welcome to sit. You don't have to. It's going to be pretty quiet for the next 8 minutes, I would imagine. But you're welcome to sit and join us in reflective
You
silence.
literally sit here and don't.
Wait. But we have it on the schedule, so technically, if we have open session on the schedule for 9:45, then technically we need to wait to make sure there's no one here for that public session.
So I'm just gonna ask.
And Tony's not here, so just so we're clear, like whenever one of the three of us is not here, we always schedule a light meeting in deference to the other commissioners that can't be in attendance. So if I'm not here, we'll do the same. If Brendan's not here, we will do the same. It's a matter of our own policy that we keep a light agenda when one of us is not in attendance.
I'm relieved Tony's not here, because I don't need those eyes staring at me.
Oh, he's soft as pie.
Tony's awesome.
It's not what you were saying about Brendan when he's not here.
That's right.
Hey, what is going on with the biodigester? Any new information?
No, I wouldn't say there's any new information. We're still in a holding pattern, waiting for them to, kind of take their next steps, finalize their plan, make connections with the pipeline. We've gotten an update from our legal counsel on next steps. So we kind of have an idea in our mind of what we're going to do. If they do, choose to move forward with the project, I think we now have a good idea of what we need to do to oppose that project. But no, we're just kind of sitting back and waiting for them to take next steps, and we'll be ready to react.
A lot of rumors, guessing, concerns, but nothing hard.
No.
So that's this property on 38, this former election.
He's not with the county,
I'm not with the county.
so.
I
Board
was
of
just
Elections-
curious, but that is.
No,
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
it's outside, it's in.
I'm not familiar with the.
It's the Board of Elections.
Right next to their area school.
Oh, okay.
You'll eat.
Got it. That's a good location.
It is good.
Very good.
Absolutely.
It's for sale.
If you're interested, we'll make you a good
It's
offer.
got an upgraded price.
Well, I don't even know, what was
So that's not good.
the last listing price?
Got right outside.
I forget.
Pay that bill.
It's been a while. It's been on the market for a little while. Somebody wanted to shoot for the sun and the moon and the stars with the price.
Oh,
No, this one, not Brendan,
Oh,
this
really?
one,
that one.
the empty chair.
I mean,
Nice.
is it-
And I acquiesced to him, even
Is
though I
it-
said it's not going to sell for that much. We've been
Are there 5 zeros or 6 zeros?
Yeah. It was
That'd be
certainly,
fine.
certainly too high.
And it's zoned for,
It's public use, so
Public use.
there's a
it's not,
rural zoning tied to it right
I
now.
could put in a statue of me.
If you buy it, you can do.
Yeah, you can put whatever kind of statue you want if you buy it.
Solar panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not on the market, I mean, is it listed right now?
It's not listed.
It's not listed. No, we had it listed for a while with a Realtor. I believe at that price, that we didn't get many bites at that price. We got some inquiries, but once they found out the price, they quickly went away. I don't think that's a mischaracterization.
No.
Sheriff, what time's your flight leave?
I have a 1:35 flight. I'm probably going to get out of DC here about 11:30-ish. Hopefully traffic's not too bad. So,
Very good. Did you get a chance to meet with Mr. Carey or Mr. Marino or Mr.
I did not go to the Hill. Today is Hill Day. I think I'm DC'd out.
Very good.
I've chose to pass on the Hill and come home. So,
Any good dinners?
yeah, had some good Irish food last night. Fish and chips, and but he had bangers and mash. They were pretty good. It was reasonable. You have to be careful where you walk into around here. You have to take a loan out.
No, that is certainly the case.
Yeah. No, good. It was a good conference. So
Good. Very
I'm
good.
excited to get back to Madison County, though.
Sure. Very good, sir.
I was watching the news. I got watching the Fox News, and I thought, well, I've seen enough about, president and national things going on. I thought I'd switch to the local news, and it's the same thing. So,
Yeah.
It's the waiting game.
Mr. Cal, would you like to sing or
No,
do anything?
No.
3 minutes left.
I don't.
Okay.
It really is to the minute, because anybody could walk in and.
Yeah, we just don't want to adjourn and then have somebody walk in at 9:45 to discuss something.
Yeah, I respect that, but I mean, I know that this starts at 8:30 in the morning.
Correct.
It didn't start until 8:40. So,
That was because I was late.
that's okay, I mean, it happens.
I got behind a school bus, rush hour school bus traffic. It is, it depends, half the time I get behind the same school bus, half the time I miss it. Today I did not miss the school bus picking up children on 42, so.
Traffic is getting slower and slower on
It
Route
is.
42.
It is, yeah, I mean that, but the school bus is the problem.
I'm an empty nester, and
Well, not a problem, but.
I'm really glad to be, I just like saying it because I like to experience it.
Yeah.
But I do notice a lot of people talking about West Jefferson traffic, that 40 is just ridiculous.
Yeah, 40s.
Starting about
40's a problem.
I'm just about ready to start
And Latrobe
driving
shut down
Lafayette
70.
Plant City Road.
Yeah,
This is where the monorail, I'm telling you guys, the monorail could be,
could be huge.
it's the one. I don't put up many yard signs with that.
That you do, okay, that's good to know. Rob, Amy, David, anything else for the good of the order? Rhonda, anything for the good of the order? Going once, going twice, meeting adjourned.
Safe flight, Sheriff.
thank you, gentlemen. Everyone, have a good morning. See you tomorrow.
Adios, amigo.
Nice meeting you.
That's maybe too.